AI is going to take over our jobs. AI this, AI that.
AI is incredible at execution. I think AI makes everyone's jobs easier. AI is not going to take your job, but someone that knows how to use it effectively might take your job.
AI is always positive.
It's a people pleaser.
Yeah.
It's never going to tell you that you're wrong.
There are so many, even visual contents that are AI generated.
10 years ago, you had to find people that could create content. Well, now everybody thinks they can create content, which is fine, but not everybody can create connections.
I believe you've heard the saying that AI is going to take over our jobs. AI this, AI that. And people say that when you use AI very often, you're going to lose your critical thinking. But also, if you use AI, it makes work easier. It makes a lot of things easier. So what is your take on AI? Before we begin this conversation today, I want to know what your take is. Go into the comment section and tell me what your view is about AI. And today's conversation is with no other than Amy Frasure. Is it Frasure?
Yep, Frasure.
I got the name right.
You're killing it.
Let's welcome Amy.
I'm Amy. I own Bullseye Total Media. We've been in business for a little over 11 years. We're right in downtown Huntington, but we work with people all over the country. We're a full service ad agency. We kind of started as a digital ad agency and then kind of progressed. We would start with relationships with people and they'd be like, oh, you're doing all my digital ads. Can you build me a website? Sure, I'll figure it out. Can you build me this? Can you build me that? Sure, we'll figure it out. And we've just slowly added people. And now we're at a team of over 20 right here in downtown Huntington. And it's been great. And I'm excited to be here and to talk with you.
Yeah,
I stalked you too.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, what did you find?
I found your video works great.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. As we begin, I want us to talk about the first thing that when Megan introduced us, she mentioned that you said that your view of AI is just wow. That makes me think that it is not the very common view everybody has. So I'm very interested in knowing what your view is.
Yeah, so I do have a little bit of a warped view on AI. I think AI is incredible at execution. I think AI makes everyone's jobs easier. My issue with a lot of people in our area, and a lot of people in general, they just don't use it very effectively. I think most people, when working with AI, kind of ask the wrong question. I think, especially in the marketing world, when people say, "Oh, I'm using AI. What can AI create for me?" In reality, you should be asking AI what it can execute, how it can make your life easier. So one of the things that we're really big at in our agency is don't outsource your genius. So, we've got a team of graphic designers, web developers, social media, video. It's not good for my graphic designers to use ChatGPT to design a graphic because that's what they're good at. What it is good for them to do is, hey, can you give me some ideas about how to do this? Or can you tell me what's best about, I'm trying to design a flyer for this. What are some good guidelines for how I do that? People often ask me what do I do for a living. I always tell them I'm a problem solver or a storyteller. People come to us at Bullseye and they either have a problem they need solved or a story that needs to be told. And a lot of times the story that needs told solves the problem. But it's just a slow process to get there. And I kind of look at AI the same way. So a lot of people look at AI and say, what can it create? When in reality, they should be, what problem can they solve? Can AI solve for me? So with me, what takes a lot of my time is the process of things. So like proposals or spreadsheets or systems or things that I'm okay at, but takes the majority of my day. What I'm great at is sitting down with a client, building a relationship, and coming up with all these like random ideas that I think can get them to the next level. So I think if kind of what we always say, our motto for AI in our office is let AI handle the process, but you got to handle the purpose.
Okay.
It's so important as a business owner and because we've all heard it, AI is going to take your job. AI is not going to take your job, but someone that knows how to use it effectively might take your job.
Right.
And I think that's probably one of the most important things when people talk about AI. I saw something the other day on social media from someone local that was kind of encouraging users to use ChatGPT as a search engine. And my whole body just tensed up. And I was like, that is not at all what you want to do. But in reality, what this person had done was done exactly that. And it suggested that their business was the greatest business of all. Well, AI is a language model. AI is honestly just a computer people pleaser.
Yeah.
AI wants you to be happy with what they tell you. It's kind of like that weird friend that you can never trust.
Right. You're so
So
right about
yeah,
that.
like you're great for telling me I'm pretty and telling me that
Mm-hmm.
my clothes are nice, but
Mm-hmm.
in reality, like I want the facts.
Yeah.
So what I think a lot of people don't understand is the quality of output depends on the quality of input. So if enough people say the sky is purple, then ChatGPT is going to tell you the sky is purple, when in reality the sky is not purple. Um, so I think even like back to the using it as a search engine, so many people, like if right now I typed in best marketing agency in Huntington, West Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
without a shadow of a doubt, ChatGPT is going to be like Bullseye,
Mm.
because I've talked. It knows who I am. It knows that I want that. If
Yeah.
you put that in, you're probably going to say something else
True.
based on the conversations that you've had and what you've built. So I think it's so important, just to use it effectively and kind of realize AI doesn't have original thoughts at
True.
all. Like they are just a conglomerate of other people's thoughts and inputs and everything, and it's trying to give you the answer that it thinks you want,
Yeah.
which is dangerous
Yeah.
for things that are truthful
Yeah.
or facts.
I actually agree with what you said because AI is always positive when you even ask it something. Even if you want it to be honest with you, because you said this, is just going to be positive and support what you
Right. It's a
said.
people pleaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, be
Yeah.
honest.
It's never going to tell you that you're wrong.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. What I'm gathering is that AI should be used as an assistant instead of letting it do like the job.
Don't let it think for you.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, I think a good way to say it's smart, but it doesn't have wisdom. And I think intellect and wisdom are two totally different things. And I think that's kind of where the human nature part comes in. Yes, it can 100% be your assistant. It can make things easier. It can generate ideas. It can help with the process of things. It can, a spreadsheet that takes you an hour and a half to lay out, it can lay out in 5 seconds, not even 5 minutes. But don't let it become your genius. Don't rely on it for the creativity side of what makes you special.
When
Yeah.
you go online on social media, there are so many, even visual contents that are AI generated.
Yeah.
So when even the person that you see is actually AI and not an actual person, who then becomes the owner of the content? Is it the person who generated it, or is it like AI owned?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think all there's multiple situations where it can be
Each.
one of each. I was working with a client the other day who owns a property that has a Gordon Ramsay restaurant on it. And they were going back and forth about how they could not get any new content from Gordon Ramsay. So someone on their marketing team used an AI generated photo, and within 20 minutes, they called and like cease and desist. Do not, you can't use this. Where did this come from? And so I think there's a lot of people right now that are trying to get into that world to trying to figure out how we regulate it or how we control what's getting put out and what's not getting put out. Um, but that's obviously the terrifying thing. I think that's one of the crazy things about creativity. Like, 10 years ago, you had to find people that could create content. Well, now everybody thinks they can create content, which is fine, but not everybody can create connection. And I think that's kind of where in our world, that's where we're still relevant is, we can create connection along with content. But so many of our people, I can do that. I can do that. Okay, great. But people, like you said, when they see it's almost an instant turnoff. And I don't know when that changes or how it changes. But I think the ultimate thing is it's not necessarily creating content anymore as much as it's creating connection.
You said that in your agency, you ensure that your workers are using it as an assistant,
Mm-hmm.
not doing the job for them.
Yep.
So, just thinking outside of the agency,
Yep.
now that anyone at all can just use AI to get their work done, how much do you think human creativity is worth now?
I think human creativity will always be worth something. I think what becomes more valuable in the next generation is trust. So 10 years ago, creative people had, they were valuable if they could create things, but now everybody can create things. And I think that's probably um, the value now is knowing what to create.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it ultimately still comes down to that connection and that relationship. So, I can sit down and create a million ideas for a business, but I can't sit down with that business owner and fix their problem. I can't sit down with a philanthropy group and say this is going to bring more donors to the table. I think we're entering a fascinating era because everybody can create content. Your grandma can create content.
Mm-hmm.
Your weird cousin can create content. Your neighbor can create content. Everybody's like rummage sale posts on Facebook of they're all AI generated because it's so easy. But I think there's so much value in knowing what to create, which is like a realm of creativity that nobody talks about. So, AI can generate all kinds of ideas in 5 minutes, but that's not the hard part. The hard part's actually sitting down and figuring out what to create and how to use those ideas. So, the execution side of it, where sitting down and figuring out how more donors are going to get in the door for a nonprofit, or sitting down with those ideas and figuring out how we're going to get more patients in the hospital, or how we're going to sell more clothes, or how we're going to get more people to attend Marshall games, or so I think it's less about the production side of the creativity in the future and kind of more about the strategy and the perspective of it. Human creativity is never going to go away. I think it's going to get lazy. The biggest thing that people are going to have to chase now is the connection with it.
I believe that the world is running towards a path that everything looks very polished, everything looks really clean, especially when you go online. And for the fact that even I, and I believe other people see those polished things online and they question whether it's authentic, whether it was human made or it was AI made. And I think that will cause some trust issues. So if I read something online and I think it's AI generated, the likelihood of trusting that is very less.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think everybody is super defensive right now. So, like for me, I know there's several presentations that I sat through in the last couple weeks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that person just truly chat GPT their entire presentation and read it verbatim. Like they didn't even put their own thoughts to it. And that's an instant turnoff, right? So you're instantly, that person loses credibility. And there's a difference between a person that uses ChatGPT to generate ideas and writes their own content versus someone that's just throwing it in there and reading verbatim what comes out. Mm-hmm. So I think there's instantly that trust issue. But then you also on ours, like we produced a really nice TV spot for a local company that, we spent 4 days. I mean, blood, sweat, and tears went into this. It was solid. And the client posted it, and within no time we had several people, oh, this is AI generated. It's too good. And I'm like, so is that a compliment that something that we did in house looks that good? Or is it like, should I get mad and defend him on her? So I think it's a strange time that we're in. Mm-hmm. I think the crazy part is the trust though, but there's just so much content. And like I tell this story all the time. So I just had a baby last year, a little bit late in life. And I obviously I own a business, so I work a lot. So my kid was in the crying out phase, so like not sleeping, and I was like dying inside because I'm sitting by her bed, like, please, for the love of all things, just go to sleep so I can go to sleep. And I was doom scrolling like everybody else does. And I came across this video, and it's this baby and this cat on the front porch. And all of a sudden, this tiger jumps over the fence, and that house cat saved that baby. And my first thought is somebody who is intelligent and does this for a living, all these things, was like, they must live close to a zoo. And that is ridiculous. Like, that is crazy that was my first thought, instead of thinking, oh, this is AI.
Yeah.
I immediately went to, oh, they must live close to a zoo. And then, 2 scrolls later, that same cat was saved a train derailment.
Oh.
So it's just like, I think that one of our biggest, as the user of the content, is just trusting your instincts and knowing like, hey, not everything that you see on the internet is real, which is something we've been told for years. It's just, now it actually kind of looks real. But that all comes down to the trust and the truth and the marketing side, which I know we'll get to. But I think that's the crazy part of it all.
Since we are still talking about trust, I want to ask this question, and I think I know your answer to this, but I still want to ask. Would you ever, in your agency, have an AI model make any advertisement for you?
At this stage, no. I think that I'm not ruling that out. I think that there's ways to use AI models for training videos or for, something very pointed, but I don't know that we would ever use it right now. Now, ask me that in a couple years and I might change my mind. But yeah, for right now, I just don't know that it's there.
Right. In content creation again, AI avatars are now the faces of some creators, and they are actually making money. And when you think about this, it's more like, this is not a real person, so I don't want to trust this person.
Right.
Or when you also think about it in a different way, this is someone who does not want to be seen on social media, or they probably don't have the aesthetics that people are looking for.
Right.
So they use the AI avatar to achieve what they cannot actually achieve in real life.
Right.
And in that manner, does it make it wrong, or does it make it okay for people to question the trust in that kind of content?
I don't know that it ever makes it wrong. I don't think that anyone can say it's wrong or right. If you are creating content using AI and it's making you money, then by God, keep doing it. Like, I'm never going to tell you not to make money. Is that how our business is built? No, but that's what people pay us to do. They pay us to create content. They don't pay us to use that. But if you don't have the means, or I watched. There's this guy on YouTube all the time who truly has built. He's a millionaire based on just AI content. It's great. Like, it's working for him. I would never tell him that's wrong. It's not right for me. But just because something's not right for me doesn't mean it's wrong for everybody else.
I'll tell you an interesting story. There's this AI avatar, and it's a Nigerian creator on TikTok, and all they do is gossip. So they just talk about celebrities. Everything that they hear, they talk about it, and they add their own stories to it. Now, for the past week, there has been a problem, and the person that this AI avatar talked about wants to make a court case. But who is the AI avatar? How are they going to find that person?
Yeah.
And it's just all over in the person's comment section that you have to reveal yourself, and somebody's also you better make sure you are never found, because at this point people want to know who you are,
Right.
and you're probably going to be arrested because you're defaming other people.
Right.
So if it's an AI avatar behind the content, who do we look for?
Well, I think that's all comes down to ethics. I mean, at the end of the day, your integrity is all you have. So if you're on my side of things, when I lay my head down at night, I need to know with a shadow of doubt I did nothing to hurt my integrity for that day. I can go to sleep with a clean conscience. And so, I mean, some people suck. Let's be honest. Like, there are going to be some people that take AI and use it in a dangerous way, and that's for them to deal with when they get caught. But I can't be that person that monitors everybody. I can make sure that I use AI in an ethical way and teach people, when they come to us, how to use it properly and how to use it to where you're not doing things like that. But I think what will come sooner rather than later is they're going to have to figure out some way to police things. And that also obviously comes with more of the cybersecurity side, and which is great for Marshall, because here we are. But I think that there's got to be some type of, I don't want to say oversight, but some people have to be held accountable at some point. So the best way for us is just to not do anything shady.
Right. Stay out of
Yep,
that.
stay out of it.
Things are really evolving when it comes to technology and AI. What is one human thing that you believe will still not be touched regardless of how the world evolves in technology and AI?
So every time there's been any kind of crazy technology introduced, like even back to like the printing press or radio or television or the internet or social media, everybody panicked, right? So everybody's scared of the unknown. Everybody instantly gets nervous and makes all of these claims. It's just change. AI is no different. So I think part of education is obviously most important, but I think one of the things that is never going to change, technology might change like how we communicate, but it will never change out why we communicate. And I think that's really important. So everything, when Facebook used to be something you just had with a college email. So now everybody's grandma and uncle and random people can get on Facebook. And that's changed how people communicate. I have people that don't have cell phones, that they just communicate via Facebook Messenger, which is mind-boggling to me because not everybody has Facebook. So I think, again, technology, I guess, kind of to reiterate that, one thing that I don't think will ever change is, how we communicate will change with technology, but why we communicate, like, that's always going to be the same. We have to communicate, and the whole purpose of communication never changes.
If you imagine communication in digital media in about 5 to 10 years to come, what are you worried about or excited about?
So I don't get worried about the Big Brother kind of stuff, because like I love that. It makes me money. um, I think that in digital media, you're going to see a next level of like personalization to ads. We're already starting to see like they're calling me by name, and email marketing is a little bit more advanced on how they do certain things. But I think the targeting ability and the personalization ability of things are going to completely change. And I think how you're getting ads, I think if you think back to just how people consume their news in the last 10 years has changed. I mean, TV used to be, you know, the main thing,
Yeah.
everybody watched TV. That's how you got your news.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody read the newspaper. That's how you got your news. Now, I mean, just in our market, the insertion rate is
Yeah.
bottom of the barrel, which is crazy. So, people are cutting their cords. They're, consuming their news on social media. They're consuming their news via app or email. They're not consuming their news in the traditional route that we always have done. And I think that is one terrifying. That's scary for jobs. That's scary for the future. But I think that's um, it's just going to keep going. I think that eventually there will be the levels of personalization to where I won't see necessarily a news story if I don't think it's going to affect me. I don't know that that's close, but I think that just the ability to, personalize and streamline like how you're targeting people will continue to grow. It's already pretty impressive, but I think that's one of the beautiful things about AI and the systems you can put in place to even not just gather that data, but manage it
True.
and use it effectively.
True. And there's a saying that worrying about things do not actually make any change.
Right. 100%.
True.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you tell my mom that?
Okay.
I'll give you her number. You can call her after
I
this.
will do that. Well, can you also tell my mom that?
Yeah.
Because I tell her very often, but she doesn't listen.
She probably misses you, though.
Yeah, I miss her too.
Yeah.
What's the most surprising thing or most unsettling thing that you've seen AI do?
I mean, I thought that tiger saving that cat was pretty crazy. No. What my business has been built on is relationships. I am a person, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I put my name on something, my name is on it, and you can trust that it's going to happen. So, as how Bullseye has become successful is relationships. I have partnerships in this community that I value, and a lot of that has come from doing what you say you're going to do and doing it well. I saw an agency out of Colorado that I follow, and it was one man, and he built an entire agency on an avatar with no employees. So everything was AI, AI driven, AI create everything, and it was terrifying to me. Like,
Yeah.
but the whole reason, like, that man probably does not get joy and satisfaction out of the same things I do. But to know that, like, from initial communication with this company, everything from even the contact form on the website all the way through to the final product, everything was AI. Now his overhead was super low, which is fantastic. But the exciting part and the fun part and the rewarding part of my business, like the stuff that gets me out of bed in the morning, is the relationships and being able to sit down with somebody and kind of like they're trusting me with your livelihood. You're trusting me with, if your kids eat or not. And I think that responsibility is special and important. And it's unsettling that people don't want that communication and that relationship, because honestly, like, I wouldn't be in this business if it wasn't for the relationships. That's what gives me joy. That's what gets me out of bed. We were talking earlier about, it's not all about money. It's, you have to wake up every morning and go to a job, and you have to you're going to love that job or hate that job. I don't care what kind of money you're making. If you're getting out of bed every morning hating your job, it's not worth it.
I also agree about the relationship part because I can't imagine, I've not heard of this before. This is my first time hearing about it. But I can't imagine going to a company and having to go through AI throughout the entire process and not having any interaction with an actual human. And with that, I believe that when there is no relationship, then whatever is built remains there and doesn't grow at all. Because when you have a relationship, if you have a client and they come
no
for the
loyalty.
first time, yes, they keep coming back, you're gonna have some sort of connection, and things are gonna just probably get better and better. But if it's AI can probably not keep all the memory until the next time you return.
Right.
Yeah. So that's one big thing that I think that AI cannot take away from humanity when it comes to relationships. Is there a specific part of your job or your field that you hope that AI never touches?
The relationship side of it, that connection and that trust and that loyalty. I mean, I can't imagine a world where that's because even you have to look at that on the flip side. If someone's mad or, something like a campaign didn't go as expected, like even coming back and having that tough conversation, I would always go back to relationships. I think, because, in marketing, I think that's the crazy thing. It's never going to be about the algorithm. It's never going to be even about what it's created. It's all about people. And at the end of the day, no matter what you're marketing, it takes people. People to get involved, people to buy, people to trust, people to join a cause or a movement. And I think that at the end of the day, AI will never, ever replace the people element and the critical thinking. Right now, like I tell kids, like I talk to college classes all the time, and everybody's like, "Oh, AI, you're in creative. AI is going to take your job." AI will never take the job of somebody that can critically think for themselves. That is such a important skill in the workforce. When I hire people, I always want to know if they can think through things critically, not just surface level. Because if you can think things critically, you can do anything.
It has been a very wonderful conversation. And if anyone wants to find you, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so our website's bullseyetotalmedia.com. My email's amy@bullseyetotalmedia.com. You can see all that on our website. We have all the social media channels. So yeah, holler at me.
Before we end today's conversation, I just want you to look in your camera
Okay.
and speak to someone about what we've talked about, AI, how it's...
Yeah, so I think biggest takeaway, AI is not a truth machine. It's a pattern machine. So I think acknowledging that AI doesn't have all the correct answers. It's the ultimate. It's the people pleaser. So I think encouraging you to challenge it. Fight with it a little bit. Don't take it for what it's worth because, like I told earlier, 75 people say the sky's purple on the same day that you're asking the sky. It's not going to be blue. It's going to be purple. And at the end of the day, always remember that the human touch is important. And while AI is smart, it doesn't have wisdom. Humans will always be the one with wisdom.
This has been a wonderful conversation, and if I could get all my wishes granted, I would want to do another one again with Amy, because I feel like if I reconstruct my topic or questions, I would get more and more out of you compared to what I had today. So I don't know what the future holds, but if the future brings anything, I'll still reach out again.
Yeah, I'm here for you, girl.
And I have a question for you watching. So when it comes to AI in communication, AI in digital media, now it's all over, everywhere, even your phones, even when you've not asked for it, you have it. So how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel like you are in control or you're losing control? Does it make you feel nervous? Or does it add to what you're doing already? Let's have a conversation in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Beavis Avenue. And until next time, as I always say, remember that your voice is your power. And I'll see you soon. Bye.